So if you went into this movie because you're a big Henry Cavill fan, you're like, oh my god, I cannot wait to see Henry Cavill kick ass. Because of course he's Argylle. He's going to be the main star of the show. Well, if you went in there with that thought process, then you only would probably need to stay in there for about 10 minutes of this movie. Because after watching this movie, the whole role that Henry Cavill played was pointless. So Argylle tells the story of a reclusive author who basically writes spy novels. You know, it's like Argylle's like her version of James Bond, only to later find out that her novels very much resemble, you know, reality in the spy world, and later gets wrapped up in the espionage and CIA herself. Because I'm mainly just throwing things out here when it comes to espionage and CIA, because the whole concept of this movie sounded good, but where they went with it just made it bad, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, this concept was actually quite intriguing to me. I mean, the fact that an author... I like the way they use the author concept, like how they kind of like see what they are writing, and they kind of like envision that while she was typing up her manuscript. So I like that thought, and also the thought like as she sees it, you know, while she's helping out this spy, this real spy, and it actually helps them find clues. It's just the concept, though, where they went with it, it just like really ruined the story. But I mean, there's more to why this movie also was bad as well, other than just where the directions they went. This is the movie that really chooses style over substance. I mean, they just make this movie, especially with the fight scenes, so very unrealistic. I mean, especially like, with that fight scene on the train, I'm like, one thing problem I had with some of the fight scenes was the fact that they had Sam Rockwell, who, by the way, did a great comedic job. They had him change into Henry Cavill in the middle of fight scenes, and it's like, I didn't understand that. I mean, at first I was like, okay, Sam Rockwell is technically this version of Argylle, I get it, so that's the real Argylle right there, only for them to just keep doing it for some reason. I was like, okay, this is ridiculous, stop showing Henry Cavill, he doesn't exist. But it's like they had to have Henry Cavill in there because that's what the movie was supposed to be about, even though technically he's not the main character at all. But Henry Cavill was the reason they came to see the movie. So, you know, we got to have Henry Cavill here and there. Pretty much, let's just stick to having Henry Cavill in there when there's a fight scene. Like, what the hell is going on? This is getting stupid. Also, since I said this movie is style over substance, that means plot here just completely took a back seat. I mean, it felt like this movie started off with a very rocky structure, and by the time it was over, the structure had just collapsed. It's like this movie's structure, and I don't know what Matthew Vaughn was thinking when he was, you know, writing this script, because it was like, there were so many multiple moments in this movie where I'm like asking myself, what is going on here? I'm getting lost. I'm like, what is going on? What happened here? Only to later find out, when we get to that point and find out where they're taking this, it just made me think like, oh my god, I'm about to walk out this movie theater. Also, runtime was just, I don't even know why they made this movie this long. 2 hours and 10 minutes for this bad of a movie? No. No, definitely not. It did not need to be that long. Honestly, I don't even see this movie needed to be even 2 hours long. Maybe an hour and 45 minutes. An hour and 40 or an hour and 45 minutes, this movie would have been a lot better. Anything shorter would have been probably too fast. But with the direction this movie was going and how they kept stretching it out, an hour and 45 minutes probably would have made the movie a little bit better. CGI as well. Oh, don't even get me started on the CGI in this movie. There are so many scenes in this movie where I'm saying like, wow, that is the greenest of green screens if I've ever seen one. It's like, it's kind of hysterical in a way, because I thought the point of CGI was to actually try and make things look as real as they possibly could, that they couldn't do in real life because it was dangerous to actors or because it was supposed to save on budget. But it seems like the whole point of CGI now is just to make it look noticeable. Just make it look bad. And I'm like, wow. Do they really just not care anymore? Although I've been, you know, been bitching about all the bad stuff in this movie. I mean, the movie does have some moments where you actually do get some sense of enjoyment in like your own cheesy little way. I mean, it's fun. It has some fun moments that are enjoyable to watch, but they're kind of quirky and cheesy in their own way, that you get kind of a chuckle out of it, especially when Sam Rockwell was on screen, you know, delivering his comedy dialogue. That was kind of enjoyable. It got a gag out of me, but I think I liked it better when we were seeing the cat, the CGI cat, you know, coming out of nowhere, you know, ruining their cover or being dropped off a building. It was funny there too. So, I mean, I did enjoy the cat. Maybe the cat was my favorite character. All in all, I'm only going to give Argylle here a C. Enjoyable to an extent, but very bad writing. Alright, well that just about wraps up this movie review. If you guys have seen Argylle, please comment here down below what your thoughts were on it. Also, if you like my other videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time, and remember, stay epic!